Animatrix 2.0 or Animatrix O for Origins is on the horizon. The aftermath of the Matrix Resurrections has shown that the world is not about to forget about the Matrix franchise anytime soon. So we've got the Matrix Awakens coming with the Unreal 5 engine as a kind of like tech demo to demonstrate the Unreal 5 power. We've also got some rumblings of the Animatrix 2.0. So I thought I would just collect all of the rumours as of February 2022 to dive into the Animatrix 2.0. Welcome to Jam Punch Storytelling, my name is George. So first let's have a quick recap of the Animatrix 1 to see where it left off. The Second Renaissance, we see humans get defeated by machines because we invented AI. It ends with a program narrating from the Zion archives. Program. Sis wins the test to test her loyalty to humans. It's probably set after Matrix 1 because of Cypher's betrayal. World record. Dan, the world-class athlete, awakens because he was simply pushing too hard in his athletic race, but then he gets his memory wiped and he still has that desire to fight for freedom. Kid story. Michael wakes himself up from the Matrix, which is very rare. He does self-substantiation as it's called, and it's set before the Matrix Reloaded. We then see him in the Matrix Reloaded. Beyond. The children witness glitches in a weird kind of haunted house, but they don't have their memories wiped. See, this is kind of strange. This says to me that it's set after the Truce era, or in the Truce era, because the agents don't bother to wipe the children's memories. Detective story. Ash dies by getting shot. Trinity escapes. It's set in the Matrix version 6, which is the same version that's in the films, but the kind of buggy code left over from the time warping effect in the Goliath storyline caused the anachronism. Matriculated. All the group of humans die, but the robot lives on because he's kind of been trained to be good now. He's been reprogrammed. Final fight of the Osiris, we see that Ju manages to get the message to Captain Niobe, and this of course leads on to the Matrix Reloaded. If any of that is really confusing to you, then please click in the top right corner right now because I went into massive detail about my Animatrix timeline theories. So first little clue, or rumour, whatever you want to call it, about the Animatrix 2.0 is John Gaeta and his LinkedIn profile. John Gaeta was the visual effects supervisor for the Matrix trilogy. Alongside the Wachowskis, he was arguably instrumental in how monumental M1 was, because those kind of visual effects had never been done before. You know, there's a reason why people say the Matrix is so iconic. It's because, partly, of the visual effects. It's the bullet time spinning around. That's down to John Gaeta. So John Gaeta's LinkedIn profile currently lists the Animatrix 2.0 as a project. However, it's worth noting that this field, this little paragraph that you see here where it says Animatrix 2.0, that isn't an official item within LinkedIn. It's not something you can click, it's not a job or a project, it's just a kind of manually typed paragraph. So that says to me, the Animatrix 2.0 is very early in development. Next little rumour or sign. The IMDb lists the Animatrix 2.0 as a TV series, not a film, which is excellent news because I feel like the Animatrix 1, being a series of 9 short films, worked so well. Because at the end of the day, in the middle of a trilogy, you don't really want to kind of squeeze in another full feature-length film. So what they did is they said, let's divide it up into 9 little stories. It looks like that's what they're doing with the Animatrix 2.0. So this is a good thing because it means that it opens up the possibility of the Animatrix 2.0 answering lots of individual questions. For example, what happened with this purge? This purge that Bugs mentioned, which got rid of all exiles and the Oracle? What happened there? I want to see the answer to that question. That could be its own little story in the Animatrix 2.0. Another one, we don't know what happened with the Merovingian and how he managed to go from how he was in the end of the Matrix Online to how he was in the Matrix Resurrections. Somewhere along the way, he got disgraced and disgruntled and turned all scruffy and stuff. Somehow he survived this exile purge. That's a huge plot point. I mean, yeah, the Matrix Resurrections didn't exactly use him very well because he turned up for about 5 minutes and then left. But we still would like to know, you know, what the hell happened? Is he still around now, after the Matrix Resurrections? Also, this TV series element means that each episode could have its own art style. Now, I loved that about the first Animatrix, that each episode has its own drawing style, animation style, because they were directed by individual anime directors. I hope we get to see that, and the fact that it's a TV series shows that that might be the case. Another little rumour is that the IMDb page lists it as Animatrix 0 for Origins. Now this is not worth ignoring because titles in the Matrix franchise always mean something. You think to yourself, okay, the Matrix Reloaded. When that first came out you go, oh okay, that sounds like a generic action sequel name, you know, like you can picture Red Notice sequel being like Red Notice 2 Reloaded or something. Like, it could mean nothing. But in The Matrix Reloaded literally referred to the architect reloading the Matrix in the cycle again and again and again. And then Resurrections, the word Resurrections, you go, oh, that's obviously referring to Neo. No, it's not. If you don't want any spoilers, then please pause and skip about 30 seconds ahead. But the word Resurrections, of course, referred to Trinity. Trinity was the one who was resurrected. Neo was kind of there all along. The story of The Matrix Resurrections involved Trinity being resurrected and all her powers and her emotion being, like, realised again within her. So therefore, if we consider that words really mean something in the title of the Matrix franchise, what can Origins actually mean? We already know about the origin of the machine's, victory over humans in the Second Renaissance. We've seen that origin, but we have not really seen the origin of the Matrix. When you think of the design and rules of the Matrix virtual world, like how does gravity work, why are things different colours, how does taste work, all these things, what's the origin of that? We don't know yet. That could be an entire storyline, that could be the entire film. Another little rumour or sign is we have this one image associated with the Animatrix 2.0, but I would say it's fairly certain that this doesn't really dictate anything about the Animatrix 2.0. I mean, the messaging is very vague. It says the origins of the Matrix at the bottom. That could mean anything. The colour is purple. I mean, maybe that's something, because colours do mean something in the Matrix franchise, but yeah, anybody's guess. Now, officially, this is the only imagery associated with the film, so it's bloody anybody's guess what it actually means. I mean, is it a lighthouse? What do you think it is? Tell me below. And here's a big rumour kind of sign, is that on IMDb, the writer is listed as Jordan Goldberg. Jordan Goldberg is one of the main writers of the Batman Gotham Knight series. This Batman Gotham Knight series has huge similarities to the original Animatrix. So one is that it's the same format of an anthology. It's a series of little films. I think there's maybe 6 in Batman Gotham Knight and there were 9 in the Animatrix. Same kind of thing. It allowed the Batman story to kind of be expanded into little individual stories, just like the original Animatrix. Another one is Batman Gotham Knight had different anime styles, so a few of them had a different kind of art style, different drawing, different painting style. Another similarity is that it's set in the middle of the Dark Knight trilogy. So the trilogy of Batman films where we have Heath Ledger and all that stuff, Batman Gotham Knight is set in the middle of those, again, just like the Animatrix. Another point is it was released in the middle of the trilogy of Batman films as well, just like the Animatrix. And this is all stuff that this guy Jordan Goldberg is involved with, who is also going to be a writer on the Animatrix 2.0, O for Origins, whatever it is. Another similarity is this Batman Gotham Knight series had the same 3 Japanese studios working on it as the Animatrix. That's Studio 4 Degree C, Production IG, and Madhouse. So all in all, the fact that there's this writer who was heavily involved in this Batman Gotham Knight series is now the writer in the Animatrix 2.0 says that we're probably going to be looking at a very similar format to the original Animatrix. I cannot wait for that. What do you think? Please tell me below. My name is George, this is Jam Punch, and I will see you next time for a new Matrix video every single week.